Hi guys, it's Theresa of Larkin Design, and today is Wednesday, and that means it's a Disney day. So I am beginning with the last day of our trip, which was the day we visited Hollywood Studios. And so I'm just jumping right in here. One of the first things we did was we went to see the Indiana Jones show. And okay, that's one of my favorite things about Disney, and absolutely one of my favorite things about Hollywood Studios was the shows. They were so awesome. All of them were just awesome. But I took pictures at Indiana Jones, and I took pictures at Beauty and the Beast. So those will be coming up in a couple of weeks. And today I split this layout between Indiana Jones and some of the shopping photos that I took that day. We did a lot of shopping that day too. And so I thought that what I wanted to do was I wanted to take some of my journaling cards and just do a little bit of mixed media on these. Nothing fancy. I'm just taking a little bit of color. I'm using some Heidi Swap Shine and some Tim Holtz Distress paints, my typical go-tos, and I'm going to just put these on a couple of, just do some laying down of some basic colors on these cards. And so the card I just did was a journaling card from Sahlin Studios, Project Mouse, and the original one said "On Our Way," and I decided to layer the smile icon on top of that instead of "On Our Way." And so I just did some basic paint splatters, and then this card here is from the Project Life Core Kit Midnight Edition, and I sort of took the circles as a jumping off point and painted a few colored circles, and then also did some paint splatters there. And so this is like just a really easy, quick way to add little pops of color to these core kits and to your filler cards and your journaling cards. That doesn't take a lot of time and is relatively simple to do, and I'm not really, thinking too much about it. I'm just adding a little bit more color there. So, and I think that what I really wanted to do, I want each section of this album to sort of have a unique feel to it. And even though I'm using the same core kit and the same collections from Sahlin Studios, this is just a way to mix it up a bit. This journaling card is also from Sahlin Studios, Project Mouse. And then I think I have them all done. So I'm gonna I think I edited out where I did heat set them with my heat gun. So I'm just going to let you take a look at that and how that turned out, just adding those little pops of color around the page. And then we'll get going on the embellishing. And so these are the photos from the Indiana Jones show. And I'm going to add just a couple of little embellishments here to the card before I add my journaling. And so the idea here is I didn't want just lines and lines of handwritten text, and I didn't need that much room for journaling. I have this journaling card, and then underneath it I have another one that I can put more journaling into if I want to. So the idea behind the little pops of color was just to break up so that it wasn't just lines and lines of handwritten text. And obviously that's a really fun, quick, and easy kind of way to break up your text on these journaling cards if you feel like it's just a lot of lines. And I think that the contrast between the lines and the splotches of color, that makes me happy. I like seeing the lines showing underneath those watercolors. So I just wrote about our sort of overall impression of the Indiana Jones show. It was really over the top amazing. Some really cool stunts, some really cool fire and explosions and excitement, and I think that all our kids were pretty well mesmerized by this show. All right. So I decided that I was going to do a little bit of stamping here, and I'm going to pre-qualify this, and I'm just going to say that this is Adventures in Stamping, again, and this is what not to do when stamping. And so my original idea was I was going to use this glue pad and some glitter. The glitters that I have are from, I think they're from Doodlebug. They're just the little sample glitters. And then, of course, my glue pad is like completely dried up. And so I thought I would just add some of my glossy accents. And again, this is Adventures in What Not to Do. And so I did have sense enough to try this. So I just flipped my scrap sheet of paper over to see what would happen with that glue on that stamp, because I just wasn't really sure. And so it's not too bad. It's not too bad on here. I'm just going to dry it a little bit and see if I can sort of brush off some of the excess glitter. And so you can kind of see, but kind of not see. And so even though that didn't go perfectly, I decided that I was going to do it again. And this time I'm going to do it on my filler card. But this time I'm going to use the darker glitter. I had picked out two colors. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the silver glitter or the darker sort of gray, dark, almost black glitter. And so I've grabbed another scrap sheet and I'm going to go for it. My glue pad is just a little bit too moist. Go figure. I don't think they're designed to have it glue reapplied to them. Just FYI. Like I said, don't try this at home. So, anyway, I went ahead and stamped that image with the glue onto the card, and it didn't take as well as I had hoped. And so I'm going to, put more glue down. Okay, and then try to dry it a little bit. And so you can't really tell at all what's going on here. So I went ahead and brushed off the excess glitter. But I really like this journaling card, or this filler card. Just all in all, I really like it, even though I've taken you on an adventure around the world. What not to do in stamping. So the final kiss here is that I'm just going to take my black stays on. There's still a little bit of glitter on there, and I'm just going to take my black stays on and stamp that image on there in black. And I'm going to leave it at that. So there you go. After all that, it looks fine. It's not perfect by any means. And like I said, I would not advise anyone to do that. But there you go. It's kind of in the video, and this is kind of what happens when you're filming. And you kind of have to explain what happened to that card. So there you go. I'm going to just keep rolling right along. And I know you guys probably think, oh my God, this poor girl needs to take some classes on stamping. Y'all, I used to teach a stamp class. I taught a stamp class for about a year. A couple of years ago when my little girl was just a year old or so. So like 8 years ago, I taught a Stampin' Up! Class. And I loved it. Oh my God, I loved teaching that class. We had so much fun. And I was so sad I had to stop teaching. But anyway, so I promise I don't need a stamping class. I'm good. Just sometimes you just make decisions that you know probably aren't going to work out. So, anyway. Alright, back to Indiana Jones. So, I just had these 4 filler cards here across the center. And, just a little note about, I probably took 100 pictures at this show. I have to say that at the time I had my Canon T3 with a kit lens, and that camera really did like distance shots, outdoor shots. It liked taking pictures of the stage here. So if you need a little light Canon that you need to do outdoor shots, this camera is pretty good for that. It is the one thing that camera did really well. It did other things not so well. But, and of course that's the camera that died over Christmas while I was doing December Daily last December. So, sigh. But anyway, so these pictures were taken with that T3, and I had to whittle down, because somehow I just ended up with 3 pictures on the layout, even though I probably took hundreds that day. And I'm not sure, how it ends up that these 3 were chosen. I know that I really liked the one in the upper corner of our son Addison. He was just so mesmerized. And I liked the action shots at the bottom. They were just some of the more exciting photos, where we were really captivated. And they just seemed to tell the story that I was trying to tell. So, anyway, that is that side. And then I'm moving over to the right side now. And I'm going to I just had a couple of pictures that I took while we were shopping. And so I wanted to be sure and include some of that, just a little bit of journaling about how much fun I had shopping. I could literally shop in that place for weeks. I could just go on a Disney shopping trip, and I would be perfectly happy not going on any rides or anything like that, just shopping. So, but it definitely was fun, and this ends up being a really cute layout. Just the embellishments and the little splashes of color here and there made me really happy. So this filler card or title card is one from the Midnight Edition core kit. And I just was really simple with that. And then this one, I sort of struggled, I wanted to repeat that circle element. There's the smile circle on the bottom, this circle here, and then the globe on the top, which repeats another circle element. But then I ended up sort of obscuring it a little bit with some word strips. But that's okay. It's still there. You can still tell, kind of. It's still there, and there's other circles on the card. And then I pulled some of my acrylic embellishments these are all from Gossamer Blue, from just miscellaneous past kits. I keep those on my desk and just use them throughout the month, just wherever I want to put some fun little embellishments like that. Love them. And then of course these little hearts, they're enamel heart, or yeah, they're enamel hearts from Doodlebug. And then I'm just going to write about the shopping. Nothing very complicated there. And this layout is just pretty much done, so I'm going to wrap it up here. And I'll let you have a look at the whole layout and give you some details of that. I hope that you'll like and comment and subscribe to my channel. And also there is a coordinating blog post on my blog at larkindesign.squarespace.com. So if you have a few minutes, you can check that out. And there's also more detailed photos there too. So thanks so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.